Now, I want to warn you guys. Unattainable people are attractive and unattainable not because in and of itself they're attractive, but because most likely they have a character flaw. There's a reason why they keep a distance from people. And usually it's not because of strategy. A lot of the times it's because of trauma, right? So people are unattainable for a reason. It's a response to fear of intimacy. So when it comes to conquering people who are unattainable, a lot of the times we are reacting to their coldness, right? And a lot of people can sense that. And rather than realizing that they're flawed, they call it mysterious. And so they're duped into chasing. Now, there are ways to capture their attention. And it's the thing about that is that it's actually contrary to logic. It goes against the normal ways of seducing people. These individuals, a lot of the times, are unique in terms of their attachment styles. The distance they create an aura of allure, an aura of charisma. But when you get close, you start to realize that was all an illusion. So that's a warning for you guys. These strategies work. You will get their attention, but the reason why they're distant is because they can't get close to you. They're unable to, right? So these strategies are tailored to people like that, right? They work, but there's a warning though: is that if you get too close to these people, they pull away. So use this on your own perils, all right? And usually you got to develop one thing to do this, and what's that? Emotional discipline. Unattainable people would trigger the needy, creepy response inside of every single one of us. And you got to be able how to deal with that. So because of that, you have to meditate. Meditate on a daily basis in order to apply this. Because no other types of people makes us more insecure than the unattainable. And how do you do that? Well, join our meditation group. For $5 a month, you're able to meditate with me on Zoom, ask me questions, and you're able to apply these strategies with a more clear mind. All right. It's a perfect way to prune out the needy, creepy habits we all develop. And you guys can book a one-on-one phone call with me today, and you guys can talk to me and tell me about your situation and how to, apply my strategies. All right. So do that now, or else I'm closing the channel. So let's begin. So, the first thing you have to realize about unattainable people, and I'm gonna give you guys an example of this. Right. I like to. The perfect example is Cookie with Magic Johnson. When she met Magic, she didn't want to be with Magic. She did not want to be with Magic. In fact, she didn't like Magic. The reason why she didn't like Magic is because so many women were going after him, and she didn't want to compete with the other women. Right? Choosing not to play the game with people who are unattainable offends them. And Magic Johnson wanted to change his life for her because she kept saying no to him, even though with him meant money and fame. She and in the show Winning Time, she actually even verbally said that she was doing this to seduce him. She verbally said that this strategy is actually the way to seduce him, where she would intentionally make it difficult on Magic to see her, where she would intentionally get mad at the bullshit he did. She would get mad, but she would actually get a little bit more angrier, so that she can make him feel like he's losing her, rather than her chase him. She observed that he was interested, and rather than giving in to him, she stepped back and let him come to her. She would make a bunch of fucking obstacles, make excuses. Rather than say I'm happy, she would say, "No, I don't like. I don't. I saw a video of you last week with a bunch of girls. Don't talk to me no more. Don't talk to me." And Magic would be like, "Please, baby, I'm sorry." It's like, "No, don't talk to me." And that dynamic made him chase her. Made her chase her, and to the point where she got married with him, right? So that strategy is a powerful, powerful strategy. And it's the issue with this though is that like Magic Johnson, these types of people are chasing ghosts. Like unattainable people who are unattainable, they have somebody in their minds who they can't conquer. And the problem with that is that they prefer that. They prefer to have that fantasy figure over having them. They prefer to worship them in their minds than to have them. They're not in touch with reality. So you gotta be careful with this strategy, right? So with that example, how can you guys apply this in your life? Well, the first thing you have to do is tempt them. You have to find something that tempts them, right? A temptation is something they have to resist. With Kiki, she presented him being with me being with you, but I don't like how you're acting. I don't like this behavior. I'm not gonna sleep with you, right? And so that limitation, saying no to them, creates a temptation. Why? Because people don't want to be tempted. They want to give in to temptation, right? So the first key is not for you to make the first move. This is where patience and meditation comes into place. They must be the one that initiates the seduction. They must be the one that initiates the contact. They must be the one that shows interest. If they don't do that, you can take the second step, right? Because once they make the first move, then that's when you could, it's almost like a counter punch, counter seduction. You could back off, create barriers, which then causes people to become more aggressive. The aggression meaning they chase harder, right? So but in order, before this, you got to control your urges because you're going to want to give in. You're going to want to, it's like a guy, right? Me as a guy, I don't like to kiss girls the first date. I really don't. I prefer to wait, right? But when I was younger, I couldn't do that. I couldn't get, I had to go for the kiss, right? So you got to control your urges. Unattainable people elicit needy, creepy responses from us that causes us to give in too quickly, right? So how do you create that temptation? Well, it's actually very simple, okay? Get people intrigued, right? From when they first meet you, show them a part of your dark side. Why? Because by you showing your dark side, it elicits their dark side. And nothing causes us to be seduced by people than people who allow us to bring out our dark side. It's like a psychopath. Psychopaths say that when they confess to their friends that they're psychopaths, people don't actually get turned off. What actually happens is that they actually get more turned on. They actually start saying, dude, you know what? I've always felt the desire to push people. I've always felt to punch a baby, right? They express their dark side and they become attracted to the psychopath for the simple fact that they could talk about whatever they could and not get judged. An example of this is this. I remember I dated a girl. She wasn't into cannibalism, but she had a fantasy of it. Anyways, she told me that her favorite boyfriend was a boyfriend that he also wanted to do that. And so they would talk about it. They never acted on it, but they would talk about it. And that comfort to talk about your dark desires is extremely seductive, right? I know it's wild, right? But that's one thing, right? An example is Epstein and his wife. You don't think there was a dark, exotic seduction behind all of their criminality? Like people connect with darkness more than with light. So what you want to be able to do is let them see a glimpse of that dark side. It doesn't mean that. It could just be cruelty. It could just be that you come across as but it has to be masqueraded with a front of niceness. So the opposite has to be your front. So I could be the nicest person, but if you disrespect me, you can see that there's a cruelness about me, a vengefulness about me. And you might think that causes people to get turned off. Remember, we're dealing with someone who's unattainable. Unattainable people only see people's good side because people want to impress them. Show your darkness, show your cruelty, and you will notice that that's actually really seductive. That's actually what they want because they don't see that from people. That's one thing, showing your dark side. The next is your contradictions, right? What you visually show to people on the outside, you want it to be the opposite of what you really are. Because then your contradiction intrigues. Oh my God, you're such a nice girl. You're so sweet, right? It's like that. It's like when guys say, "Oh man, she looked like a nice girl, man. When in bed, she's a freak," right? If you're a freak, look like you're not a freak from the outside, right? If you have a manipulative tendencies, look like you're not manipulative. You might say, "But what happens if they see my contradictions?" Remember, this is an unattainable person. Nobody shows contradictions in front of them. You showing that shows more humanity. They're able to connect with you more. I'm telling you, this looks evil. But you're coming at me wanting to get someone who's unattainable. What the fuck do you want me to do? I can't. This is what works, right? So what you want to be able to do also is make them feel like they're able to fulfill a dark fantasy. It could be like the 50 Shades of Grey type of shit, right? It could be that maybe Maybe you have a desire to do the God's holy work in public. Making sure nobody sees you, right? But the point is, fulfilling a dark fantasy and giving them a glimpse that you're able to fulfill that is extremely, extremely seductive. Extremely seductive. It's why this is why role playing works so well when it comes to spicing up sex lives, right? So you're able to fulfill that fantasy. Now, this is another one, and this is one that I want you guys to apply because you don't have to go to prison for this one. Create obstacles between you and them. If somebody's unattainable, let them come to you. Let them chase. But because unattainable people, something that people don't do to them is create obstacles. I'm always free. I'm always available. I'm available right now. You can see me right now, right? That openness, that you being free actually paradoxically hurts you. Create obstacles. Nah, man, I might be too much for you. I might be too argumentative, or oh, you're too young, or you're too old, or it's not the right time. I'm too depressed, or I'm not the right guy for you. I could hurt you. I could be an asshole. I don't want to hurt you. Find reasons for it not to work, so that they then convince you that you're wrong. And the way that they convince you is through their actions. Them trying to seduce you. Right? Create obstacles. Don't make it easy. Oh, I can't see you. I have to cancel plans because there was a blizzard. I have to cancel plans because I'm sad and depressed and I don't want to talk to people. All of these things you might say, oh, I'm losing the opportunity to be with them. I'm losing the opportunity to see them. That's where you got to control those urges. Sometimes you have to cancel one or two plans for unattainable motherfuckers. That's how you get their attention. They're toxic as shit. Why would you want to do that to yourself? But anyway, you're watching the video, all right? Um, the next thing is, oh, sorry about that. Oh shit. Remember, unattainable people want something that they can't have, right? They want something that they can't have. And this is why creating obstacles is so important. Don't give in too quickly. Me as a guy, if I'm on the date with an extremely beautiful girl, I'm gonna try my best not to sleep with her. I'm gonna make sure that she knows she has no control over me. You do that with everyone, especially the unattainable. Unattainable people, they rarely get set. People rarely say no to you. Unattainable people want the resistance. They want you to resist so that they can seduce you. The issue, this is honestly the biggest issue, man. We just give in too quickly. We don't make them work. We don't make them sweat. Right? So now another thing is offer them something different. For example, with Kiki and Magic, Kiki offered Magic Johnson stability. She didn't want to be part of the groupies. So anytime he felt tired and empty from sleeping with a bunch of women, Kiki was the first thing that came to mind. Offer something different, right? So if everyone, for example, me, if everyone wants to bang this girl, I'm gonna offer something different. I want to get to know you. I want to know who you are. I want to know your intelligence. If every woman is trying to sleep with him and trying to get his money, you go in the opposite direction. You show that you want to get to know the person. You say no to his money. You say no to the flights that they're offering. I am telling you, this to me is one of the most powerful things. Because it hits at people's insecurity. And that's that I'm not just my looks. I'm not just my public image. Unattainable people are very isolated. They feel alone. And you am applying these strategies, oh fuck. Applying these strategies removes that. The next thing is, like I said, don't be afraid to show flaws, right? Why? Why? Well, because of this, right? Remember, unattainable people, everyone around them is trying to impress them. You show your flaws and you do one thing. This will make them want to change you, reform you, right? But also, it shows that you're not being disingenuous, right? When we see flaws, when you make mistakes, when you act, when you, which is normal human thing, when you act bored, when you show different emotions, It shows that you're being real. One of the things about unattainable people is that we're afraid that people are faking. Like, you guys don't understand how much people, how much they look like they're acting. Like, I'm not an unattainable person, but I remember there was this one girl that was trying. I could tell that she was trying to like get me right, and she just gave me weird vibes. I felt like she was trying so hard. Like, I've never felt that from someone. I was like, and I felt defensive around her, and it was because she was laughing at all of my jokes, fucking smiling, looking creepy, right? Like that. Oh my god, that's so incredible. And I'm like, oh, okay. Lower your nonverbal cues. Calm down. Stop speaking in an upward tone. Calm down. In fact, don't try. Don't try to impress them. Because what you want to come across is normal. You don't want to come across as interesting or charismatic. You want to come across as normal. Right? So also, like I said, don't be afraid to show your flaws. Don't be afraid to show your anger. Don't be afraid to show that you're impatient. Don't be afraid to show that, hey, like, where you been? I wanted to see you. Because what you're doing is that you're not being needy. You're actually just acting. You're showing flaws that only somebody who's not acting would do. And again, it's counterintuitive. But understand, unattainable people are always on the defensive. They're always on the defensive. So don't be afraid to show your flaws. Lower your nonverbal cues. Don't be so eager. Slow down. Slow it down. Everyone is trying to speed things up with the. And then above all, this is above all, be willing to walk away. If you don't have this last thing in your mind, if you don't have standards, if I can't tell you what are the things that this person does that will cause you to walk away, if you can't tell me that instantly, don't even try this shit, man. Honestly, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. And don't tell people you watch my channel. Tell them you watch something else. Because this is the problem. Everyone would do everything and literally not do that part, and then come to me and say, "Oh, Father Alex, your shit don't work. You fucking got me a divorce." It's like, no, every woman, from my experience, reacts to this. Every man, from my experience, reacts to this. This works. But the key is be willing to walk away, and then listen up. They gotta try to seduce you. If they don't make the first move, don't, don't. The best predators are the best animals, not the best predator. The best predators like cats. Notice how they never go after the big bull. They always go after the little one, the kids, the children. Why? Because they're playing the numbers game. You got to be like a predator in that sense. Play the numbers game. Only go after people who like you back. It's weak to only go after people who don't like you. You get what I'm trying? I'm not trying to get you guys to date a bunch of ugly people. But a lot of us are just attracted to people because they don't like us back. The unattainability, right? Everyone is accessible to that. Even if you want them, you can fake that you don't want them, and it works. But remember, to the unattainable people, success is only temporary. You're never going to fully have them, and you always have to keep that in mind. All right. Anyways, so remember, people, um, they must first seduce you. Control your urges. If you don't know how to control your urges, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/MA20. And there you can meditate with me, and I can teach you guys how to do that. People get intrigued by showing your dark side. Don't be afraid to show your flaws, or your contradictions, even better. But not too much, not too much, and not too quickly, or else you're a little crazy. Create obstacles like the Romeo and Juliet syndrome. Offer them something different. If everyone's trying to bang them, try to bang their brain. Try to understand their minds. Don't be afraid to show your flaws. It's what makes you human. And above all, don't be afraid to walk away. If you do that, you can tell people you watch my channel. Listen, people, if you guys want to work with me, click in the description down below. If you guys want to purchase my courses that teaches you this in more in depth, watch the next video. It's an advertisement where I give you guys a chance to purchase them all or purchase them all individually. All right. And that's a great way to support the channel. And if you guys want to donate to the channel, I have donation links in the description down below. Take care. Now, I know you guys like that video, right? But the problem is that most likely you're watching my videos very scattered. And you're understanding the information, but you might be getting information overload because you might be watching a video for this, but then a video for that. Sometimes it's best to just purchase the systems that I have that will give you more clarity. For example, I have the psychological game of attraction, which is a system that I have for women who are single. And it'll teach you how to go from single to relationship. And it'll give you everything that I know you're going to encounter, like any objections, what to do when someone's pulling away, when it's time to open up, when it's time to close down, how to punish people for disrespect, how to find out if somebody genuinely likes you. You get all of that in that system rather than watching all of my videos. It's actually a more efficient way of learning. I also have natural chemistry, which is a course that I created for women who are in a relationship and want to strengthen their relationship. So if you're a nice girl, if you lack assertiveness, if you're the type of person that doesn't have respect in their relationship, well, then natural chemistry is the course for you. After that, we have the feminine woman, which is a self-help course for women in order to help you guys develop more emotional strength, to develop a meditation practice, to set and achieve your goals. I also teach you guys my manifestation technique that has literally manifested what I have today, right? So remember, in these systems, you get the for women who are single, psychological game of attraction, women who are in relationship, and the feminine woman, right? Each course is $99 each, right? So if you purchase them individually, they'll be $400. Yeah, $300. But with the bundle, you get them at $249, right? So just click on the description down below, and is a lifetime guarantee. So you can keep it forever. And if you don't like it, you have a 30-day money back guarantee, right? On top of that, we also sell them with the bonuses, right? Social mastery, and it's just a bunch of bonuses that I have, which is almost like double the material of the course. So it's a really good way to get a lot of value from it. And it's a great way to support the channel. So you can click on the description down below where it says purchase the fundamentals, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care.